I have one more question based on what came out of his mouth. He says Isaac. Now he said Rebecca was Jacob's wife. That's incorrect. Jacob's wife was Rachel and Leah. Mm-hmm. That's number one. So I don't know where he get that story. Rebecca was Isaac's wife. Mm-hmm. All right. Now when you go into the word Rebecca, and I'm going there now so that I hope you all can follow us in Genesis the 24th chapter, and I'm going to read it in Hebrew because he made a statement to say that it meant that she was white and leprous. And I wrote that based on your words. So now I'm going into Genesis 24, and where Rebecca came to Isaac to be married, in 24 and 59 in the Bible. All right. So I'm going there now. And if you look at the word Rebecca, Rebecca actually means Rabakwa, which means fettering by beauty. It have nothing to do with white. It have nothing to do with leprosy.
I said labor, not Rebecca.
Rabakwa means fettering by beauty. Ribka, in what you would call the Yiddish, is beauty or fettering. It have nothing to do with white. White has an entirely different Hebrew word and Hebrew meaning. So I wanted to correct that. All right. Now the next thing, so let's make this clear. All right. Not once did anyone show us that prophet in Deuteronomy 18 was Muhammad out of the Bible. Not once. Not once. Not once did, and I'm glad he mentioned that he go into a Bible that's contradiction, which is a contradictory in itself. Why? I will never uphold or reverence the Quran ever. Why? Because the Bible is the book of my forefathers. I will go into the Quran to show you that the Quran actually give credence and authority to God's people Israel. Now, before we go, because I have the Quran open, I don't have no other book. I got the history book because there's a time in history in which Muhammad did not exist. So I had to go into that history. There was a time that Christ did not exist. I can go into that history. But before then, the prophets was on the earth, and they prophesied of a savior that would eventually get Israel out of Israel's condition. Israel fell as a people. So there's no way the Most High is going to send an Ishmaelite to get the Israelites out of their condition. That's utterly ridiculous in itself. All right? The Israelites fell, and because of our fall, the Arabs and the other nations have become rich and powerful. So the last thing they'll do is give you back your true understanding of your God and your origin. Now, I'm going to go into the Quran, and I'm just going to read a few passages out of the Quran, chapter and verse. So you'll know, even though I do not reverence the Quran at all, the Quran means nothing at all to me. All right? I want to make that clear. It says here, okay, I'm going to go over a few passages out of the Quran. I need you brothers and sisters out there that are listening to mark these out of your Quran. Okay? First of all, we also went into the Bible to prove further who that prophet was according to the Bible. Okay, we're not going to take you into the Quran and bring you into the Bible. The Bible stands on its own. It's a book of the Hebrews. We don't need the Quran to validate our Bible. It's the other way around. All right? Why? Because the newer must be validated. The newer religion needs credibility. All right? Now, when you go into the Quran, it says here, and this is the Cow 2, part 1, the 40th verse. It says, O children of Israel, call to mind the special favor which I bestowed upon you, and fulfill your covenant with me, and I shall fulfill my covenant with you, and fear none but me. So even in the Quran, it's showing you that Israel is the covenant people under God. That's in your Quran. Now, there's more. I'm in the same chapter in the 47th verse. It says, O children of Israel, call to mind the special favor which I bestowed upon you, and that I preferred you to all others. To let you know that links directly into the scriptures that says that Israel is a nation above all nations that are upon the face of the earth. And the Arabs know this, and the Jewish powers know this, and all the other nations know this. That's why they give us religion, to keep us from understanding how powerful we are as a people. More in the Quran. Okay, I'm in the Cow 2, part 1, 63. And remember, we took your covenant, and we raised above you the Mount Sinai, saying, hold firmly to what we have given you, and bring ever to remembrance that is therein, perchance ye may fear Allah. So what this is talking about is the law that was given to Moses and the Israelites on Mount Sinai. This law was not given to Ishmaelites. It was not given to Edomites or Hamites. It was given to the Israelites to teach the world. It wasn't given to the Arabs to teach the world. Now there's more. I'm going to go to 3 more to show you that without the Torah and the Tanakh, which the Old Testament is written now, though, there would be no such thing as a Quran. They used the Torah and the Tanakh to compile the Quran itself. Why? Because the prophets are written in the Torah and the Tanakh. So without the Bible, or the books that are in the Bible, the Old Testament, there would be no Quran. Now, there's more. All right? And how do we know that? Common sense will tell you that if Muhammad was born about 600 years after Jesus Christ, then the people who was following one God understood the true God without Muhammad. So what need is God's people have today to hold on to an Arab belief when their forefathers had it, when the Arabs was worshiping one God for each day of the year? The Arabs needed that. The Israelites didn't need that. The Israelites, or the black people, were actually, believe it or not, converted through the sword, through conquest. During the time of the Crusades, up until the time of the Crusades, they were bringing Islam through the sword in Africa, converting the Jews into Islam, while orchestrating the slave trade that led to the children of Israel going into captivity. Now, instead of them claiming their true origin, they are holding the religions of their captors. I'm in the Quran a little bit here, and I'm at one more. I got 2 more, and then I can turn it back over, because information must get out there so that brothers and sisters can know the origin of religion. I don't want anything that came 600 years after the prophet already came. All right? Christ is the prophet. His name is Yeshua in the Hebrew. And if he was here before Muhammad, why do I need Muhammad? The Arabs needed Muhammad. Why? Because they didn't have no knowledge of one God. Our people did. And that's the point I want to drive home. So how can I go back to the Arabs when I can go to the original people who had it before the Arabs had it? Because they just want to steer me to their cobblestone.
Yep.
Now here's another one. I got 2 more, then the floor is open. But I want to bring some key information that the brothers and sisters can grasp and hold on to out there. All right? Now, I'm in the Bowing the Knee 45, and I'm at the 25th part, the 16th verse in the Quran. It says, we did aforetime grant to the children of Israel the book, the power of command, and prophethood. We gave them sustenance, things good and pure. We favored them above all the nations. So the question is, if I'm reading this, I should say, well, okay, well, what happened to these people? Where are these people who was once favored? Could they still be in the earth? Where are the children of Israel? If they were once favored, will the Most High favor them again? And see, and that's what they will never give you in Islam. They will never give you in Christianity. They'll tell you that God done away with his people and now everybody is his people, when that's a bold-faced lie. There's always a chosen. The Most High promised to Abraham that he would never forsake his chosen. He would never. He swore with an oath that he would never forsake his chosen. And that's what if the Arabs give you this, then they would have to stop being imams and put up Israelites as the imams. They would have to get rid of that rock, because God say you cannot have no idol besides me. You cannot worship around a rock. You cannot bow to a rock. You cannot kiss a rock. So they would have to move the Kaaba stone. Okay, it's idolatry. One more. I said I was going to give one more, then I'll be finished on this. I'm in Cattle 6, part 7. Part 7, verse 84. It says, we gave him Isaac and Jacob. All three we guided. And before him we guided Noah. And among his progeny, that means his children, David, Solomon, Job, Joseph, Moses, and Aaron. Thus we do reward those who do good. This is the guidance of Allah. He giveth the guidance to whom he pleaseth of his servants. If they were to join other gods with him, all that they did would be for vain. So if you have anything as a god, it's vanity to the Most High. And we're including that Kaaba stone. The 89th verse. These were the men to whom we gave the book and judgment and prophethood. And these their descendants